It's now a month since 15 of the castaways moved from the cramped conditions of the schoolhouse into the accommodation units nicknamed the pods. Since then, they've all been trying to make their rooms their own.
I was torn between making it either a beautiful, luxurious pad just for me, or a bit of a pub. And it's got to be pub every time, hasn't it, really?
Materials have had to be begged, borrowed, or just plain stolen.
You see, we didn't know whether Roger was coming, so we pinched all his stuff. You'll have to buy him all new furniture.
I haven't scavenged anything. Come and have a look at my room if you want. And this is the room, the green room. Something for you to stand on if you don't want to take your boots off.
The schoolhouse is still not being used for education because of leaks in one corner, so the 8 children on the island are being taught in the farmhouse.
What's going to be the body? Yeah, what's going to be the body? Yeah, that's going to be the head, okay, right. You hold
It's become a major issue for the parents.
It's been very difficult for us coping with the schoolhouse situation not being ready, and we're trying to teach the children in quite cramped conditions.
For us, the schoolhouse is absolutely essential. I feel that if the kids aren't being given their own space and really quality time with adults, I think it's just unfair, and I think it will affect the whole community if the kids aren't happy.
A community meeting is called to discuss action.
A lot of people here have an interest in that schoolhouse and getting in there. We can't do anything creative. We can do the 3 R's moderately well in the Mackay house. We can't teach our children adequately in the Mackay house. We, not only the parents, other people want that schoolhouse done. And we're 2 months, 1/6 of the way through this project.
What I see with some people here is that total lack of taking that responsibility for things that are occurring. Instead, they want to blame all the time.
Frankly, if this had been me in charge, an architect who tries 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different cures and fails is an architect out of a job.
Oh, it's just exhausting, you know. If something's not going right, I will try and fix it, or I will enlist help to try and fix it. Here, if something's not going right, you blame someone else.
If I was, in my profession, asked that many times to cure someone, the patient would have gone elsewhere months ago, weeks ago. You know, it's not a way of dealing with a professional.
In fairness, Roger, some have spent a lot of time with Andy over a long time on the advance party and subsequently. And I think over just that one issue, to actually sack the architect would be just ridiculous.
The architect in charge of the whole project, Andy McAvoy, has been called over to the island to hear the castaways' complaints.
It is now February, the end of February. It's, what, 1st of March, 2nd of March? Half term has started on the mainland, and the children haven't been in this building once.
Well, I think you have to assess the relative priorities across the site. You've been finishing your own accommodation. There have been a number of other building projects. A number of the castaways have actually been involved in improving that situation, and since I was here last week, it's dramatically better. You can see it at the moment. I mean, last week it was covering water, so there are measures.
That's a weather thing, that is. I mean, if we were in the same weather we were last week, that would still be covered in water.
But it was raining last night, Colin.
Yeah, but not to the degree that we've been having.
It's a mixture of the two, Andy, the rain and the wind. When there are heavy winds and rain, it's the wind driving the rain in.
I can't really see why we can't just put all the kids' stuff in there and just leave the offending area out of the equation for now and get on with the rest of the school. I mean, it's perfectly fine. 15 of us lived in it for over a month, so I can't quite see it why it can't be used myself.
What it sort of boils down to is if the problem persists, then will you acknowledge that it isn't just a old building problem? No. That it might actually initially be maybe it wasn't quite thought out properly in the first place.
No, I won't acknowledge that, because the remit for the project was to make this building wind and watertight and fit for purpose. The purpose was temporary occupation for 1 year, and the measures that have been taken in this building far outweigh the original brief.
The amount of moaning I've heard about it, I mean, if people put the amount of effort into getting things done instead of moaning, then we would just be zooming along, getting so much done, it would be unbelievable.
I would say the sooner those fires get lit, the floor covering goes down, then that will make a big difference, because dampness just hangs about in the air and it gives people a feeling as soon as they walk into a room of discomfort. And that needs alleviated, even if someone comes down for the next few days and starts lighting the fire. I think that it's quite hard for a lot of the people on the site at the moment to focus on the potential joy in this place. The remit for the project was survival for 1 year. I think we've done an awful lot better than that to address fundamental questions that some of the locals have over why put so much energy into something that only lasts a year. We've all faced up to that and tried to make as good an effort to make the buildings have some longevity.
I think we're gradually going to inch our way into the schoolhouse. We've made a decision now about the flooring. We're going to lay the rush matting. I don't know whether it's called rush matting, it's some prickly stuff that looks like doormat material. And we're going to lay some lino on top. But once we're into the schoolhouse, I'm hoping that things will improve dramatically.
2 months in, and other aspects of the community are also being organised. Work on the hydroelectric scheme is underway. The windbreaks around the growing areas are being put up, and fencing to keep the animals in is almost complete. Some of the work is turning out to be harder than anyone could have imagined.
What's that, Peter? I said even the angle grinder won't touch it. We better get the metal tip blade, I think, rather than the stone cutter.
There's nothing nice like coming down for a nice fresh loaf of mush.
Say something here.
Oh no, it's really nice. Is it yours?
Bloody lucky to have any bread at all.
No, it's really nice. It's really nice. I'm really.
We can use it as a fire brick in our new stoves.
It's not only the quality of the food that's a concern, but the quantity.
The other day it became apparent that we might be running low on food, and people began to panic.
I think the last delivery was about 10 days ago, so starting to run a little bit low, which is what I thought of, always assumed was going to happen and was all part of this project, that we were going to run low on certain things. So it doesn't actually bother me that much. I think it's really exciting.
A boat is meant to arrive every fortnight to deliver supplies and take the Castaway's next order back to the mainland. But if the weather's bad, the boat can't get across. Food has become an issue on the island.
Contraband! There's so much greed.
And it is causing fraying of tempers and quite a few arguments and a bit of backstabbing and people saying, oh, well, so-and-so had an egg, why can't I have one? So-and-so should have left it for the children.
Greed is the thing that has horrified me the most about what's here and the way people have acted. It's not a nice thing to see.
What are the goodies?
I think we ought to check out
There it is. That's from me. That is Irish whiskey.
Of a weekend, it's a free-for-all. And you've never seen that like it in your life. You think they'd never been fed before.
Chocolate!
Right, I'll see you all later. Woo! Fox's Classics! No, we've got to leave them in here. I think we'll leave those in there for now.
But when you see something arrive that is for everyone, and someone has chosen to take half of what is available for their own use, that's a hard one to tolerate, really hard one.
We even fetched some stuff from the beach, and from the beach to the kitchen, some went missing. So, I mean, how can you work with people like this?
The community has devised a rota that puts each castaway on kitchen duty once every 9 days. Ray thinks his skills are better used in building work. He's refused to take his turn in the kitchen and has asked Cassie to take his place. It's causing friction between him and Peter.
Hope you're hungry, boys. See you later.
We've had a couple of control freaks, what I call them, you know, wanting to run the show, and they're trying to run it like, you're back at school, you know, putting silly notices up and all this. Well, adults won't stand for that. Well, I won't for a start. And especially when you get somebody like telling you to do something what's not got a clue.
We had a team of 4 of us, me, Hilary, Sheila and Ray, and then Ray announced yesterday that he wasn't going to do it and Cassie was going to do it instead. There's quite a lot of feeling that everybody should have an equal equal share of the kitchen rota, because it's quite an onerous one. It goes on for 12 hours, lots and lots of washing up. And I just felt, well, I just don't think it's fair. And so it upset me a bit.
Peter's one of these guys what wants to have his finger in every pie, and because somebody says something to him, he jumps down the throat. Like he jumped down Tammy's throat, but when he tries it with me, it doesn't work.
So if somebody says arbitrarily, well, I'm not doing it, it doesn't seem fair to me. And fairness is something I feel very strongly about.
I'm not here, Paul, to do what they want to do. Right? I was here to do a video diary, do a bit of work, which I've done. And I've done it for 10 weeks. And some of these, they're just not going to control my life 24 hours a day like they'd like to do. They probably work somewhere in the city or something like that where they control other people. Well, they're not going to do it with me here.
There are quite clearly certain people that like being in the kitchen, a group that like to be in the kitchen, and maybe Ray's right, maybe you can trade off. But if there's any trade-offs going, I want to be on part of that as well. I actually think I'm more effective outdoors.
You won't get me arguing or fighting and all this lot. I'm just going to let them get on with it. All right.
Well,
6 weeks ago, 4 male castaways made a gentleman's agreement not to shave until the summer. But today, one of them's lost his nerve.
the situation is the beard competition or holding out on the beards. And what's the problem, Toe?
Ben ain't got a beard.
He has. It's just that we just feel, as a group, that he's trimming it. And we have said it once or twice.
Yep, we've told him.
But he denies it.
Firstly, it's really uncomfortable, and it itches a lot.
So what are we going to do? What's the consensus?
Secondly, I hate it.
So I'm afraid we might have to not call the bet off, but maybe bring it forward and shave it all.
Could do.
Could do.
Thirdly, I was drunk when I made the bet in the first place. It wasn't a bet, it was a gentleman's agreement.
I think haircuts and everything.
Haircuts, the full
shaves, manicures.
You could say that, how could I possibly go back on a gentleman's agreement? But then again, we did all decide between us that we would do it on March the 1st. Not all of us.
What absolute rubbish.
But me and...
That's true. Absolute rubbish.
What's this?
The beard competition 2000. I bottled this on Tarrant. This is Ben breaking his word of honour. We toasted together.
Just over a month ago, Tricia's dog, Fran, gave birth to a litter of puppies.
Puppy number 5. It's arrived. It's a boy. And he's alive and kicking.
Come on, Inca.
This means there are now 10 dogs on the island. Ron already has a dog, Charlie, but he and Julie have decided they each want to keep a puppy. But not everyone's happy about the new arrivals.
Should have drowned him at birth. Right, I've got to be going. Bye.
It's the main topic at the weekly community meeting.
I do not want any more dogs in this community. There are then nearly as many dogs as children, and it's a completely different game for me, and it's not a game I would have ever joined to know that that many dogs around.
I really want one. I really want one. And having helped give birth to them, if you like, not give birth to them, but midwife for them. They're very special to me, and I would love to have one of them.
I'd love another puppy because Charlie is 13, she won't last forever, and selfishly it will cushion the blow for me when Charlie goes.
For the project now to change substantially, in my view, with 2 further puppies, and let's face it, puppies share our living space. That's a big change for me.
If we keep these 2 puppies, I would like to know if that is going to make your family very unhappy, or if it would actually force you to leave as a family.
I'm close to quitting this because of several things that have just not materialised. Our plans are we have certain aims here, and currently it looks as though we can't attain them.
You know, if anyone leaves this community, then really we've all failed, because if we can't, as human beings, all pull together and support one another, then I think that's a real shame.
I don't feel calm about it, but what I don't want is anybody to think that I'm a quitter on a one-issue basis.
Roger's the only doctor I've seen that needs a doctor. Roger... The man's neurotic. The man's just... Who picked Roger? He doesn't like animals, he doesn't like dirt, he doesn't like mud, he doesn't like the weather.
I find out that Roger and Rosemary may well be leaving. And it surprised me really how saddened I am at that.
Roger looked very, very pale and really troubled. And it was distressing for a lot of the community. I know Liz got upset, Ben got upset, a number of people got upset.
I really, really do not want them to leave. And it's sad, and I've said that to him. So I hope he rethinks.
Oh, look at that!
Look, there's still one here.
The debate continues to rage.
I mean, I've never talked so much about dogs before, I must say. And, you know, big long debates about dog poo and how it should be managed and where it should go and, you know, how... Oh, gosh, I mean, it just went on and on and on.
I must say, I'm getting concerned about the number of dog poos what are about.
I would be absolutely gobsmacked if any of you can tell me that you've seen Charlie crapping. You are so lovely.
The puppies become an obsession for all the castaways.
We made rules about dogs, and we're sticking by them. And we don't want too many dogs here.
Another meeting is called to make a final decision about the puppies' future.
If 2 further puppies stay and I never see them, then I've got absolutely no objection, and I never tread in a poo, and my sons don't get toxicara, and and they don't leap up at me when I'm trying to eat. Then I've not got a problem. You know, you can have your puppies without any issue from me.
After all the discussion, Ron decides to withdraw his request for a puppy.
I'd rather get another dog when I go home. Do the vote to keep 1 puppy. I just don't want to discuss it anymore. I don't want to think about it anymore.
You'll be hurt later on, then.
Sheila, thank you. Honestly, I'd just rather leave that.
Toby, count the votes.
Okay, so I guess, Jules, congratulations.
Well...
You get to keep a pup. You're a mother!
You're a mother!
Thank you very much.
The outcome is we're having 1 puppy, and I think the others are going to be going. So that's that debacle over and done with.
Whoa! Oh, you did that well.
I did think that the dog stuff was a really overreaction.
She didn't even really do it.
There you go, Chuckle.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's pour the others first.
Sorry, did you speak? Did you speak?
And I decided that I wouldn't take one of the puppies on because I didn't want to be here and feel that people were watching me, how I was bringing up the puppy, where the puppy was doing wee, where it was allowed, where it wasn't allowed. And that just wasn't sort of how I want to bring up a puppy.
I'm a mummy.
Peter said, Jules, you don't want a puppy, you want a baby.
You ought to have a baby. He said,
you should be having.
Not that I'm trying to push myself forward for the job, you understand. But you ought to have a baby.
Oh, there was something else.
Well, I was going to say, what do you think the boys are missing? They are gagging for a shag.
Well, that was it. Still haven't been laid. What is it? The 6th of March. So it's been like 3 months. December, Jan, Feb.
Next on my list it says women. I've got no idea why I wrote that down. I like women. I don't know.
Would I snog Toby?
A little bit of candlelight, a few beers.
I think if he had a shave.
Yes, that beard.
Have his beard off.
And a shower.
Do you know? I think
muscles.
No, if he had his beard off, do you think? You know, yeah, I think I might.
Ooh.
Ben, how you doing with no flippy floppy on the island?
Well, hopefully Ray's going to send some over, so we'll have some flippy floppy.
Yeah,
Flipsy flopsy, actually. It's not flippy floppy.
Flippy floppy.
Depends how you do it.
Well, it's been that long, I'd just get a flipsy, I wouldn't get the flopsy in. It'd be over too quick. Flipsy, oh shit, like that. Get a double knot on your trainee, that's it. That's your foreplay over and done with undoing your shoes.
Trevor?
Ben, when was the last time?
When was the first time you done?
We just snog Peter.
No!
I think of a lot of things I've done with Peter, and snogging's not one of them.
Oh no! No.
Decapitation might be another one.
Oh, Tammy!
No, I'm only joking.
No, he's always got custard and bits of biscuits in his beers. He does though!
You can always lick him out and have a snack halfway through. You know, stop the tonguing, stop, have a little snack.
No,
and then go back to it.
No.
The castaways have now been on the island for 10 weeks.
Yeah, it's a very, very sad day in paradise because Ray has decided to leave. Nobody wants him to go, but he's absolutely made his mind up, it seems to me. There's no sense, certainly not in my head, that we could change his mind.
Ray's locked himself in his room and is refusing to come out. No one knows why he wants to leave.
Ray? Ray? Ray, can I talk to you?
I went fishing with him on Sunday and everything seemed to be fine. And this has come like a bolt out of the blue. This is the last thing I expected to hear, that he'll be, he wants to leave. I don't know what the reason is, but it must be something. If Ray wants to leave, it has to be something that really, big is bothering him.
He wants to be on his own at the moment, sort some things out, and then he says tomorrow he will talk to people.
Can I come in, love?
What, go away, what's the deal with you?
We just don't want you to go, sweetheart. We don't want you to go. I don't want you to go. Where are you going to miss so much, sweetheart, if you go now? It's only just coming together.
Everybody has noticed over the last week or two there has been a bit more of a recluse, and that he isn't that big bouncy character that we've all grown to like or to hate, in one form or another. So he's just really backed off and has decided that that's it, he wants to go.
Where's the old git?
Yeah.
He's locked in.
He's got provisions for 4 months.
I think he's used to operating in a certain social context, which he does very well, which is work hard, drink hard, fight comes along, threaten violence, use violence if necessary, work hard again, drink hard again, and he is a lovely guy, but I think he has found it harder than anyone else to operate here.
Ray? Ray? It's Ron! You're not going to let me in?
He must have thought on it, because he's started drawing back a while ago, a week or so, and I think that's it. I honestly think he's going to go.
He won't change his mind now. I'd put money on it. Definitely.
What? So much wants to go away.
Yeah.
Will you let me in then? So much wants all of us to go away.
I know he's been upset by the fact that his building has been, shall we say, people have not regarded his building as being of the highest quality.
He's had to face the architect saying to him, no, that's not in the right place, or it's not right, it has to come down.
His meat store had to be taken down almost as soon as it was built because it was just right, it's just wrong. His first bridge that he built was condemned by the health and safety. The lid that he was building on the toilets blew off.
And this has happened time and time again, so that every time Ray has got on and done something, with very few exceptions, basically his work's been rubbished at the end of it.
The following day, Ray's emerged and still seems determined to leave. The next supply boat is due in 2 hours. As far as anyone can tell, he plans to be on it when it goes.
He said several times he's going to leave before, but he's just been messing. And a lot of the time he's joking and stuff, but this time he's going. I believe that.
How can you leave this, Ray?
Especially just when things are getting easier and better.
But not everything goes according to Ray's plans.
Now listen, I'm going to put the phone down in a minute.
I don't know, I just feel there's something wrong. I don't know if there's something wrong.
Hang on, keep out of it.
Ray?
I said I'm not a part of the project, so put the camera down.
He was filmed coming here, so he should be filmed going.
Gross misconduct. Yeah. Right, that's okay with me.
Sorry, Ray. You're not all bad, but you're not all good either.
You've got to live with that. You've betrayed the whole project.
Find out tomorrow night what really happened.